So the next one we have going across the top of what I have here, my dive knife, the old faithful. You're going to see how much rust is on this. Just know before I pull this knife out, I do wash it after every dive. It is over 4 years old, this knife. It was the second knife I bought. The first one was a Cressy and it fell out because it had a mechanism. This one is called a pressure knife, so if you go like that, you can see the knife doesn't come out. It's held in by its own pressure. Yeah. This knife's a bit rusty. It's really, well and truly, got some rust on it. But great knife, super reliable. One thing you will notice is no rubberized straps or just elastic straps there, which is really comfy and great. Just sitting on your leg, if I don't throw it on the ground, really comfy and great for sitting on your leg. So I'm going to redo that. So don't throw on the bloody ground. So these are super comfy for sitting on your leg. The elastic straps, not gonna lie, you forget they're there. Really comfy, you forget it's on your leg. I've driven home with this on my leg before because I've just completely forgotten about it. It's comfy, you don't even feel it on your leg. So 100% recommend that. The Rob Allen X-Blade is the knife that I have in this pouch. It comes with this pouch, but I bought this over 4 years ago. It's been to Solomon Islands, it's been on every trip. It's my go-to knife. It still works even though it looks over 100 years old with all the rust on it. Not sure if you can get a close up of that, all that rust on it. But that is, yeah, well and truly being used. I was thinking about getting another one, but they're just way too expensive at the moment. So, moving across the top, we have the first mask of the wall. The low volume mask I'm currently using is a Cressy. It's called the Eyes Evolution is the model. The only difference between this mask and the Mares mask here is that they both look the same, but with this one here on the right, which I'm currently using, they both have this hard plastic bit in the center above the nose. I find with the Mares, everyone I've talked to, everyone I've seen, and everyone who's used it, including myself, says that it leaves a red mark straight up on just pretty much where it sits, and that is my only knock on the Mares masks. But the Cressy ones, as you see, it's pretty much tailor-made to my face, and like these masks, great. This one was actually the cheapest mask that I bought in a while. This was just a tiny bit over $100. I believe it was $100 on the nose actually, sorry. But anyway, great mask, 100% recommend it as a low volume mask. Which then brings us to the snorkel that I'm using. I'm pretty sure this is an Aqualung. TUSA is, let's call that the brand, the model that it is. Now, let's go from top to bottom. We have a splash guard, a very flexible silicone snorkel, so it's not going to get caught up when you're looking for crays. The only thing I have added is the snorkel keep. What? Get off my face. So the snorkel keep is about the only thing that I've added. Let me see, I'll put my paley white skin to it so you can see it. So the snorkel keep's the only thing that I've added. Is just really good, so it's not hard plastic pressing on your temple. 100% recommend them. The flexible end down near the purge valve, also great. And speaking of the purge valve, ever since I transferred over to one, I cannot rate them highly enough if you get a good quality one. The first one I had was terrible quality and it rattled and let water in, and you end up feeling like you're half drowning when you're trying to dive. But that's what I reckon about the purge valves. If you're going to get a snorkel with a purge valve, make sure you basically get what you pay for. If you're going to lash out and get a good snorkel, it's always a great comfort because it's just so much easier. You got no idea how much easier it is with a good quality snorkel to free dive and stay calm. So now we move down a bit. I'll just GoPro bag that I have here. This is just basically just a waterproof bag. It's just what I carry some stuff in, mainly filming gear, but sometimes that used to be my dive bag for a while, but yeah, I phased out of it. Now I'm using a milk crate. Milk crate is, I cannot rate, I don't have it with me, where is it? It's probably still in the car. So I currently use as a dive bag. I used to use this one here as standard waterproof bag, but now I use a milk crate, which you can't see, it's up out of the top. It's stashed away for the time being. That is what I use at the moment, just because when you pick everything up and you're moving it around, you're getting in and out of the water, your bag stinks. Like, if you just pretty much go from the car park to where you live, whatever it may be, the water that pools up at the bottom just sits there and it stinks. Doesn't matter how well you wash your wetty, it's going to stink. So I put mine in a milk crate. All my dive gear, I get a milk crate, and everything that I use just goes in the milk crate. Obviously the weight belt goes to the bottom, but you just run over, all your stuff's there, you rip it out, put it all on, chuck your socks, everything on, and then as you come out and you're all ready to rumble, you catch a fish, whatever, you get, let's just say you went for a shore dive, you went and shot a couple of bream for lunch, and you're like, yep, that will do me for lunch and maybe one for dinner, whatever. Whatever the situation may be, you put the fish at the bottom of the milk crate, you chuck all your stuff on top, you chuck it, for me I've got a ute, I chuck it in the tray and it's got like a little cover over the top of it, or if you got your fish, you put it in a fish bag, whatever. It is just really good for not having smell in it constantly, and when you're washing your gear out, you go, I put mine under a tap, and I have the tap sort of loosely going as I'm unpacking all my stuff. So the water is sitting in there, draining through the milk crate, and it is, when you're pulling your gear out, it's just like, say your wetty's on top, you pull your wetty off, and then it's draining through all your knives, your little tiny bits, nooks and crannies where water can get. But you always pull everything out, individually wash it, and then yeah, you've got all the milk crate just sits there at the end and you just put that away. But yeah, 100% recommend a milk crate. Moving onwards, we have, moving down the wall. Whoa, clearly someone's too happy to come off the wall. I will put that up in a second. Here we have the second set of fins that I'm currently running. These are called the Bochet Mundal Sports. These are a soft to medium stiffness in the fin blade, which basically the harder it is, the more energy you can exert for a faster propulsion through the water. The softer it is, you're putting in more energy, but the fin is moving a lot more through the water, so you're not getting as much propulsion. So I usually sit somewhere about a soft to medium range. I reckon that's about where I like to sit. Because I had a growth spurt in my last fins, I am now running an 11 to 12, and you'll probably see on the bottom of, you'll actually probably see this logo everywhere. It's on all my surfboards, it's on all my guns pretty much. This, let me put it up the right way first. This is, this sticker that you see everywhere, belongs to a mate of mine who owns a surf shop down in Apollo Bay. His shop is called Hodgie's Surf Centre, and he's down there in Apollo Bay in Victoria. And if you are looking for anything to do with surfing, anything to do with it's a surf shop, so surfboards, wax, and then if you're going in there you want some pretty cool looking clothes like this thing here, or he sells some pretty sick hats that you've probably seen in pretty much all my videos. I'm wearing a hat, probably this hat, it's comfy as, and yeah, so if you need some warm clothes or you just need some good quality stuff, Hodgie is the go-to man for that. And if you if you're down that way, 100% hit him up. I'm pretty sure he said he's got one of the largest Patagonia ranges out there, so if you're looking for some Patagonia gear, head down that way. So, moving across the wall from the fins. Righto, so now we're moving down the wall, so we've already coloured gloves. some of the masks that I have here is the we have the Land and Sea single lens barley mask. Very funny mask. I'm still waiting to do a spearfishing challenge in this. Just as that last video I put out with all the mask tests. Make sure you go give that a like, and make sure that if you like that video, I think I said if I get it to 20 likes, I'll do a spearfishing challenge in this mask. So make sure you go over there and like that video, and so I can bring you guys some funnier content than just me saying what I have in my shed here. What I have in my little corner. So not even a shed, just a corner. Right. I have here, on the topic of masks, this is the first proper mask I bought for spearfishing, freediving, all that stuff. This is an Bochet Max Lux 5. This is a single lens mask, high volume mask. What that stands for between the two volume types is the high volume, you got to insert a lot more air into the mask so it doesn't suck your eyeballs out of your face. So it just depends how much you're putting in there. So the advantages over a single lens mask compared to a dual lens mask is the single lens gives you greater distance, but the downfall of that is because it's a lot more room in there, you got to therefore put a lot more air back into the mask to equalise your eyes. So there's always their pluses and minuses, but yeah. I used to run that mask for a while, and I've just run a simple Mario's J snorkel on that. That's a bit of a spare mask at the moment. This mask I've just covered before. This is the Mario's Tanner mask. Every bum and their mum loves this mask. I actually don't like it that much. I bought this, so I got this as a bit of a spare mask, just in case. It was kicking around in my truck for a while, till I used it a couple of times, try to get some more information about it, see how it fits, see how it seals. So I knew it sealed alright, but see how it fits and how it goes. But you cannot deny that hard plastic nose piece on the Tanner masks. That really annoys the hell out of me. So that's my personal preference. You may have a different one, but in that I'm just running a simple Bochet J snorkel. They're just as simple as they get. So moving left across the wall here, we have our gun sock here. So this one sits on this gun here when it's travelling, just to keep the rubbers out of the sun, gives it a bit more protection. Just a simple rubber and gun sock. This is a crab snapper sling. So what it does is pretty much it frees up a little bit of room for you to hold your big jewfish or whatever your fish is in one hand, your fins and whatsoever, your milk crate with all your gear in it in the other. Just gives you that bit of extra free movement to walk up the headland or something with, walk up to the car park. To take it off, it's just a little Velcro tab here, and a little leash. Sorry, like a little kind of shackle there. Not sure if you can see that. There's a shackle, and it just goes through the trigger like so. Comes out the other side. I'll probably do it like this so you can see it. So it goes through the trigger, comes out the other side. You poke it through that little D-shackle bit there, pull it tight, Velcro it back on. It's just that easy. There you go. Then you're away to go walk up to the car park and cook up that big fish of yours. So it's just a great bit of kit. One of my mates, he wanted me to, he got in touch with him and he wanted me to demo one for him, so I've just had that. I'm just demoing it for him. Awesome bit of kit. Love it. I do love it as something to, something to keep your hands free as you're walking up to the car park. So moving along, we have a weight belt. So Nothing fancy here, just a Rob Allen rubberized weight belt. Some may be asking, why do I have such a long tag here? That's if I want to add extra weights, but actually the main thing is, it's actually a massive safety mechanism. So, what I mean by a safety mechanism is, if you are having a shallow water blackout, I'm just getting a bit higher here so you can see what I'm doing. If you have a shallow water blackout and you have your weight belt on, like so, with all your weight on it, this is probably about, I don't know, about another 2 kilos of lead around me. What this does is, all this tag hanging out here, you're in trouble, you've blacked out, your friend's coming down to help you like the good dive buddy he is. Instead of trying to muck around with all little bits and pieces, you just grab the biggest, you just grab this tag here, rip it the other direction. The pin is actually a spring-loaded pin. It sits out there, you let go, weight belt's gone, you get retrieved to the surface. Worst case scenario, you buy yourself a new weight belt. So that is the basic premise on why you always leave a longer tag on your weight belt. You don't want anything too excessive, but you don't want anything too short either. So actually on the weight belt, I have the second knife. I always dive with 2 knives as a must. I have one on my leg, which I reach with my right hand, but this one sits actually on my left hand side. There's nothing fancy, just an Ocean Hunter knife. I'm not sure what model it is, but I have that there. This is the first knife I've had that's actually gone back to a mechanical system that you actually have to push a button in to release the knife, but you can just push it with one finger and then just kind of flick it out, and then there you go. I always dive with this one facing my left hand. So it's easy as, the main premise is safety. If I get caught up, my right hand's hurt, there's 100 different ways where I can't reach to the knife on the opposite side of my body. It's just there. It's just safety, bang, knife's out. Cut away from fishing line, cut away from, say you just got wrapped up by a big wahoo or something, big spank mackerel, cut the rope, cut yourself free, and yeah, safety thing. Moving on with a bit of safety stuff here. I've just got a D-shackle on here. This is where my float line sits. I always attach my float line to myself, just so I know that if something happens to me, that all I have to do is track the float line, and then if you shoot a big fish, fish takes off, you've got muzzle wrap, you've got something, it's pulling you under, you need a getaway, you just pull on the belt reel, tie it up around the gun, clip that back off to your knot, gun, whatever you want to do, whatever you're feeling. Once you've clipped that off and your belt reel's going mental, it's just then you can safely retreat up to the surface, and then you can play your fish from the surface or on the boat or however you want to play it. But 100% on the belt here, I've just got the knife, the belt reel, and the D-shackle, and my drop weight also goes on there sometimes. So that is my weight belt. That's the Rob Allen weight belt. Hugs nice to the hips.